Hello. So I haven't read with cards this week. I had my daily pool, but besides that, I didn't really do anything with substance with the cards. I will mostly talk about books here. I'm sorry if it's not of your interest. But let's start. Let's start with the Pearl of Wisdom. Do you enjoy this? I do. I really enjoy those, like having a weekly Pearl of Wisdom. We are at number three. So, excuse me, I'm going to try to translate it. I'm going to do a poor job, but finger crossed the message will be heard. Um, so, when someone hurt you, do not hesitate to forgive them. Because if you think about what motivated them, you will understand that it's pain that they have and not the deliberate will to hurt you or the deliberate desire to hurt you or to handle you. Forgiveness is an active way, an active thing based on reflection and not on forgetting. This is a weird phrasing here, but I think the message is clear. Forgiving is is a responsible act that is based on knowledge and acceptation of the reality of circumstances. Okay, so basically, do not hesitate to forgive them. So, and I want to talk about forgiveness because, this is the pearl that I've read. I've been reading every day for a week. And then I'll go to pearl number 4 and I'll read that and translate that poorly for you next week. But anyway, so I was thinking about forgiveness because of that. And I love the concept of forgiveness. I know it's what brings me peace of mind. But I also understand that I think was that Kellyanne Maddox who did a video about forgiveness. I don't remember. I think it's her. It was brilliant. It was, it's kind of toxic to push this idea of forgiveness on people. And I understand that absolutely. But I think what is best for me, I think the answer for me is in the forgiveness. And of course, there are things that are unforgettable, unforgivable, but I think, at least for me, I do think that working towards forgiveness is better for me to, ruminate and feed on the hate. So, yes, again, this is just a personal observation. I don't want to, influence people or tell people what to do. Everybody knows what's best for them, right? So, but I am working on that. And it's hard because I do ruminate a lot. And, when I'm at work and I think of my old, my boss from a previous job, she was very terrible. She was very mean. And at the time, I was convinced that I didn't deserve better. So I stayed there. And, sometimes because I do the same job, but in another company, sometimes something will happen that will remind me of something that happened with that old boss. And I'd be like, oh, I should have said that, or I should have said that other thing. Oh, that brings me to another topic for later. So I do ruminate, and and that bus, I heard that she died early 2020. So it was over 6 years ago, and I still think about her. And I quit in 2019. I quit that job in 2019. She died early 2020, January 2020. And like in the movie, she was supposed to retire a few months later. And it was a weird thing too, because we were not invited to the funerals. It was private, and it's okay. Actually, knowing that we were not invited, it was actually taking a weight out of my shoulder, because then I would have to take the decision if I want to go or not. And it was not someone I was very close to. It was not someone who I liked particularly. So it was weird feelings. And also, my dad died like in November 2019. So it was a whole mix of a lot of feelings. So anyway, so the thing is, we were not liking this bus that much, and so we did something between us, ex-employees. We had a supper. I'm sorry. We had a dinner at the restaurant, and then we were thinking about her, and we were like, "This is so weird as a feeling, because we knew her for so many years. Like, I've been working with her for 5 years, every single day, 5 days a week, So it's so weird to not grieve, or at least I mean, it is a grief, but it's a different kind of grief. To grieve for someone you knew well, and you knew for a long time. I mean, 5 years is a long time. It's quite a few times, and but then not feeling like, this person was so active in pushing us away all the time, that we didn't felt, I mean, we were not happy at all that she passed. I mean, I was, when I left that job, I didn't like her while I was working for her. But when I left that job, I was like, I was like, I hope she's going to be happy in the future. Like, I hope that, I was hoping the best for her, really, honestly. But yeah, so it was weird to be grieving this person in a way that, that person who did everything to push us away, and this person who did everything for us not to like her. So it was weird. It was weird. So we're grieving, but we're not. If we were honest with ourselves, we were not sad. We were not happy, but we were not. We were kind of indifferent, and it was such a weird mood, weird emotions to be having. So anyway, so when I think about her, even to this day, sometimes I'm like, oh, I should have said that, or, oh, I should have done that. Oh, I should have, stood up for myself, or I should have yelled at this moment, or I should have said something. But that doesn't help me in any way. I'm just, even my dad, that I last seen in January 2000, 26 years ago, the last time I saw him. But of course, I was growing up in he was very aggressive and violent and alcoholic. So, you know, these wounds are, scar you for life. But still, like, it's been 26 years since the last time I saw him. And sometimes I'm like, oh, why haven't I done that? Or why or I should have replied that, or I should have done that. But so this is only hurting me, right? They don't care about this. They're no longer with us anyway. And even if they were with us, even if they were alive, they would not be a part of my life. So who cares? They don't care about what I'm going through. They don't care that I'm still upset. So forgiveness for me is, well, exactly that. It is for me. I try to remember, when these thoughts are happening, I try to remember, no, I forgive you, and I repeat that as a mantra. So two fake things, wrong things we think about when we think about forgiveness, I think personally. One is that we forgive other people for them. This is not the truth. You forgive people for yourself. It's a way for you to let go of. It's a way for you to surrender, to let go of this anger. And the other thing that is a mistake, I think, is to see forgiveness as something that we do once and it's done. Like, and also, forgiveness is not forgiving is not forgetting. It's not because you forgive people that you open the door to more of what they were doing. You can burn the bridge, burn bridges with people, and still forgive them, but not wanting them in your life, So there's that. And the last thing I was going to say is it's not one thing and it's done. Like, it's not. It's the classic example of the piece of paper that you hurt and you yell at him and you yell at it and you hurt it and you hurt it and you make a ball out of it. A ball out of it, and then when you say you're sorry, you make it you unwrap it and you try to flat it, but you'll always see the crease. So that's a classic thing. You've seen that all over the internet many times, but it is true. Like saying to someone, I forgive you, or, and you don't have to tell them, you do it for yourself. So you can tell it to yourself that you forgive them. It's not something like, okay, I've said it, it's done, let's go back to my life. Like it's an active, I like how it was phrased here. It's an active act. It's an active démarche. That's a funny word to translate. It's an active word, for lack of a better word. So it's an act. You are acting on forgiveness. So whenever you ruminate again, whenever you have those bad thoughts again, you have to, and I say you in this video, but truly I talk to myself, right? But yes, so I forgive you. It's something you have to repeat a lot. So, anyway, it's something that you have to cultivate. Yes. Okay, so what happened this week? I've read books. So I have talked about The Will to Change. The Will to Change, Man, Masculinity, and Love. I've talked about this book by Bell Hook. Loved it. completely fell in love with it. And what happened is that I was working a lot this week. So I didn't had a lot of time for myself, but whenever I had a little time of myself, I was reading. And I've read two more books by Hooks. I've read À propos d'amour, which is all about love, new visions. And this is so good too. And, in those two books, Bell Hooks is such a wise person with so much goodness in her heart, compassion, and that's very interesting. I think I've said that before, that in feminist literature you often have like rage feminism, and it has its place. Like, of course, if you know just a little bit about feminism, you understand why. You will feel rage yourself. Like, you will understand the rage and the anger. And I'm not saying it's the wrong way to write about it, it's the wrong way to think about it. I'm not saying that at all. I think this is a very important and necessary way. It's just that Bell Hooks propose a very different way of talking about feminism, and it's just good and full of compassion and goodness, and it's very inspiring. So I really love those two books. And then, because I was completely obsessed, I also read, I'm gonna find the title in English first, Feminism is for Everybody, Passionate Politics. Tout le monde peut être féministe, by Bell Hooks. Also, and I've read it in a day. It was like so good, so compelling, but it is a very different tone. Like, this is almost, this is almost like self-help book or philosophy book. It's very inspiring and soft. It is soft, this book, in the way that it was written by Bell Hooks, but it is more factual. So it's more, what is feminism, where it comes from, why it's important, what you can change with feminism, what is the cause, really. So at the beginning of the book, she said that she wanted to write a book that she could give to everybody. So, it's a book made for everybody, regardless of your level of literacy or your academic level. It's short, it's simply written, and you understand everything. Well, not everything, but you understand the basis of feminism and the feminism movement and the importance of feminism. So this is also very good. So I'm going to keep those books, and I don't keep books that I have read usually because I have too many books in my place, but I only keep books that I know I will go back to, and I will go back to these three. I love them so much. I haven't read Tarot for Change. Thank you for people for telling me how they read it. Apparently, it is necessary to read it from one cover to the other, because from one card to another, she comes back to things she said earlier. So I'm gonna do that. I don't know when though, but I will. I will do that. And the last book I want to talk about, it's a new book. I just bought it, and I'm very, very curious to read it. It's Half His Age by Jeanette McCurdy. This book is polarizing, to say the least. So it's about a girl falling in love with a man who is twice his age. And it's narrated by her. And so, from what I understood, some people call it genius and some people call it disgusting. And I'm very curious to read it and to make up my mind. I think Jeanette McCurdy is a smart young woman, and I think that she knows what she's doing. So I don't think, I don't think she's promoting this kind of relationship. So I'm very curious to read it and to make up my mind about it. So I'm probably gonna read it this week. Probably. Okay, so, and for the cards, like I said, I was only pulling my daily card from a deck I'm not gonna talk about yet. So, yeah, Okay, I've talked about this book as an intention, but I have one deck as an intention. And I'm going to talk about it and see, maybe, I don't know if it's going to happen, but I really want to. It's Intuitive Whispers Oracle. So I really do like this deck. It's by Maud Hurst. I really do, artwork by Laurie Mena. Okay, so I really do like this deck. I really do like the visual. But in the book, so you can use it as an oracle, as a traditional oracle. You put a card, you go to the guidebook, traditional oracle stuff. But she does suggest that you can do the journey. And actually, that's why I bought this deck, because I wanted to do it. But then I was just using it as an oracle, and I never did the journey. But I do want to do the journey. So in order, that's why I put it back in order. In order, you go card by card, one card a day, and you take your card, you go to the guidebook, you read the entry, you do the little exercise suggested, and it's a meditation. Well, at least the first cards, the red cards, are meditation based. I don't know how to move your body. So eventually it's more active. But at first, it's the red cards are about grounding and meditating, meditate, meditate and being grounding yourself. Okay, Sylvain, come on. You know how to speak. Okay. So, and you have 4 suits. So you have the red cards, the yellow and orange cards, you have the blue and green cards, and then the purple and pink cards. And I really do like the artwork. I think it's pretty. And I really do want to do the journey. So I don't know when I'm gonna start this. I was very, very busy at work for the last few weeks. I think it's slowing down now, so I want to make room to be able to play with this and do the journey. Or maybe I should, what do you think? Maybe I should take one card a week and meditate on this card and this concept and with the guidebook. I don't know. Would you like that? Would you be curious to follow me on this journey along with the pearls of wisdom? I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I really want to get into this deck. I do think it's a good, from the use I had with it, from the way I used it before, I know it's kind of a powerful tool, and it's what I need, really. It's really what I need, a form of meditation and, a habit to meditate. Take back my habit to meditate, because I kind of let it go, unfortunately. Yeah, that's it. Okay, I think I'm gonna finish this video here. I don't have more to say, so I'm not gonna make you lose your time with me here. Oh shit, I forgot. I have something more interesting to say. I was talking about forgiveness and rumination, and then I stumbled upon a very good video from The Doctor in Yellow. So, first of all, you know how I love yellow. And so I was, I was at least curious to this channel because of that. But oh wow, that's a very young man with a lot of interesting thoughts. So I highly recommend you to go check it. I will try to remember to link the video in the subscription, no, in the description, so you can see it. It's such a good video about that. It's about, respecting the person you used to be. Because when you think, I truly believe that we always react the best we could react when the stuff happened to us, right? Like, if you have, I don't know, a car accident, or if you are in a relationship, a toxic relationship, or whatever happened to you, I believe that you act the best you can when this stuff happened to you. And so when I ruminate and I think about the stuff that I should have said to my father, or that boss that I was talking about earlier, actually there's two things there. First, talking about forgiveness, and we always say, oh, the hardest is to forgive ourselves. And I always thought it was bullshit. Like, it's harder to forget people who abused me than forgiving myself. But when you ruminate and you think about all the better option there was, all the better comeback you could have, the better ways to reply, the better ways to defend yourself, when you think about those things constantly, you are not forgiving yourself. You are telling yourself that you should have been better. And this video made me realize how that was wrong. So first, I need to forgive myself, but also have compassion for the person I used to be. Like the doctor in Yellow said, he said, well, I will poorly quote him, but it's lacking the respect for ourselves. Like, we need to be more compassionate towards the person we used to be. Like, we acted, and even if we were the one hurting other people, we were trying to be the best for ourselves, or we were not perfect, and we still not are perfect, but we are evolving, and we are no longer the person we learned. And the person we are now is because we are the person we are now because we were that person that we were at that time. So we had to learn those. It is unfair to expect our past self to have learned the lessons we have learned before we have learned them, before the things that gave us the lesson happen. So yeah, anyway, it's a beautiful video, and I really hope you will go watch it. Okay, I think I'm done for today. Thank you so much for being here. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.